Oh. Yeah, go. Hello, beautiful people. I'm so happy for you all to join us today as we allow ourselves to share with you a little bit of what we're going to be sharing in the weeks to come in our beautiful e-course, Liberation of Love. Again, the sharing is completely from our heart space, really wanting to touch in, from our hearts to yours. It's a very powerful thing, and it's something that has been forgotten and not taught to too many people, is to really live their life through their heart space and to really share from that and not get lost in the illusions of being judged and feeling criticized for really being yourself. So you're 110% going to see us here with you, showing our true selves. So we'd love to start today, as I love to do things in my life in a very ceremonial way. I feel there's a great importance to connecting back into to really tuning in with one another, with the space that we're sharing in as well. So I'd love for you to just take a moment as we all connect in this space of interweb connection between all of us, no matter where we are in the world. I'd love to just allow you to really take a few deep breaths with me and breathe into your hearts, really breathe into this space. Just really bringing your awareness into the present moment, into the here and now. And we all connect together, we're all a beautiful family all around the world. No matter where we are, we can really connect in with each other and receive the most out of our experiences. So our offering today is to really be here. And we thank you so much from my heart for your presence, for logging on and being here with us today. So just really breathing into the heart and feeling that gratitude from our hearts to yours, for giving your time of day to stop, to plug in, and to listen to something that we're sharing, and we share from a beautiful place of integrity and love. So just really breathing in that beautiful love vibration. Deep into every cell, deep into your bodies, into your minds, into your spirit. Really, truly allowing yourself to be here, to be now. Just letting go of all distractions that take you out of this moment. Allowing yourself to be present. And for the next few minutes, I'd love to share some beautiful music. It's my Bansuri flute, so just maybe you can keep your eyes closed if you wish, and just listen to some beautiful sound vibrations before we continue on with what we have to share with you today. thank you for your presence and for just really receiving that energy that I love to give. It's something very precious to me, my sound, and I'll be sharing more of that with you as we continue through this beautiful course, if you wish to join us on this journey. So as we start here again, introductions entail. My name is Kurt, I'm the meditation mechanic, and this is the beautiful Jessie from Get a Fresh Start. As I'm sure so many of you have heard of her brilliance and her amazing ability to really focus in and make change. Jessie has been in my life and a part of my life for a number of years now, and I'm so blessed to be working with her and to have the pleasure of knowing her and watching her grow through her own amazing journey with the essential oils, the beautiful medicine of the earth, and sharing those amazing healing tools, very much tools that can assist us, in our lives, in really finding connection. So many practical ways of physical healing, mental, emotional healing, and balancing. I've watched Jessie unfold in so many tremendous ways. It has boggled my mind. She's a great inspiration of mine as well to have been there since the beginning of her journey with the essential oils, and where Jessie came from. It lifts us all, and if you don't know Jessie's full story, plug in, jump on her website and have a read. There's so much there, and it's a very inspirational journey and story to be shared with so many, as it has inspired my life to in times that I found myself wanting to push through, but a little bit afraid, as so many people are. I just need to have a listen to Jessie as we chat often, and she just gives me that motivation to up and go and really share what we're here to share, and to actually put it into action. She really calls people into action and out of the space of just talking about doing things and actually doing things, which is amazing and very, very powerful thing. And I'm sure you'll feel, as she shares throughout this course, some of her beautiful wisdom of how she's gone through her own transformation into deeper self-love, deeper self-awareness, and how she's found that motivation within to actually to move through times that we're afraid of and that are very hard, and to make a difference, because it's aligned with herself, and we all do, we become free. We liberate ourselves through loving ourselves, which is very much our focus on sharing with you all so many techniques and practices, and really talking and hopefully triggering some deeper awareness for yourself to look at for this year and years to come. I'd love to pass over to Jessie if she has something to share.
Thanks for that beautiful introduction, Kurt. I think that's the longest time I've been silent on a webinar ever. Normally talking and going at 100 miles an hour. So Kurt really helps me come back to a more grounded, connected space, connected with myself, connected with others, and to really be vulnerable and come back to who I am at my core and my inner child. And we've done a lot of work with releasing limiting beliefs and things that no longer serve, and implementing tools in my life that serve me on a daily basis. So I've been seeing Kurt for one-on-one healings, where he works at Capella Bar and he works with energy and Reiki and crystals, and he does sound journeys and meditation, and he works with the essential oils as well, and uses lots of different ways. He's an incredible intuitive and guide as well, brings through guidance from spirit and source. So not everyone can, take the time to go and see Kurt in person, or lives close enough to be able to see Kurt in person for his one-on-one work. which is why we thought it would be really fantastic to do this collaboration together and be able to bring this work to people and bring the tools to people that they can implement in their day-to-day life in a really easy to access format that anyone can afford and that anyone can participate in online, because social media and online is such a useful tool to bring information and education and empowerment to so many people. It's obviously something that I use a lot in my business to reach as many people as humanly possible. So teaching Kurt a little bit more about that as well, which is exciting. So yeah, that's a little bit about Kurt. The meditation mechanic is his business name because he was a mechanic and he's gone on his own journey, obviously, as well, of a lot of self-discovery and finding out who he is and working with different tools to come into a more balanced state, because believe it or not, he used to be a bit of an angry rebel like I was.
Indeed.
So it's been an interesting journey for both of us, and we've developed a beautiful journey in friendship. And we just want to share those tools with you guys. So I wanted to ask a question of you all. How do you want to feel in 2017, and kind of what is it that you want to create in this year? So have a think about that for a moment. And for me, I definitely want to feel more connected. I've been on a journey of self-love and self-discovery for quite some time. So continuing on that path of really being comfortable with who you are and the value and light that you have to bring to the world, and the services and love that you're here to share with other people. So just think about how you want to feel. Is it connected? Is it blissful? Is it joyful? Is it abundant? And just come up with some words and some feelings and some sensations that you want to experience and discover more of in 2017. I feel like it's a very powerful year, and I know Kurt's been going on about different numbers and sequences and things that are coming into play in 2017. So do you want to touch on that?
Yeah,
tiny bit?
Absolutely. So in this beautiful new year that we've all just birthed into is the year of one. We've just finished a 9-year cycle, coming to the closure of 2016, and we move into the year of one this year. So it's an amazing year for new beginnings, for really opening, portals to connecting with our, higher self and our high potential. The number one is a master number 11. I'm sure many of you who are familiar with the powers of 1111 and the energies that come through that. They advance the energy flow to a tremendous degree, and allow us to enter a new stage of our lives. So perfect time. Again, that's why we're here and we're sharing. We're also feeling that call, and we'd love to share from that space and assist you in taking that next step in your journey and opening a new adventure, and coming into a deeper awareness, so you can really apply these tools and a higher space of knowledge into your life to better everything, to your state of being, your state of mind. There's much we'll be going through in the content of the course, of actually identifying, understanding how the mind's working, where you're holding on to limiting beliefs, holding on to really it's old energy, it's old formats that perhaps have been conditioned into your thinking, or you've picked up beliefs from others, as we all do from a very young age. So it is within my expertise. I've spent many years meditating and working on myself to become a very clear vessel. So to come into a very high space of awareness, of understanding of the mind, the body, the emotions, the spirit, and really bringing this back into alignment. And it's powerful beyond measure. So we hope to be sharing some of these tools that I've discovered, and I'm sure Jessie has so much to share with you all as well on that, and can really help you in where you're at right now and where you want to be. Let's really get this rock and roll.
Yeah, so let's talk about a little bit more about the course and what that actually involves. So it's going to be a 5-week course that's going to, geez, my throat. It's going to have 5 live webinars. And you will get access. Do you want to talk about that? My throat's just okay. You will get access to all the replays as well. So if you can't make it on the live webinars, you will get access to every single replay that we do as well. And basically, it's going to be offering a deeper awareness on the topics of self-love, which we've already discussed a little bit, understanding the mind. So for me, you know, I go into these patterns that are quite self-destructive, and yeah, go into these anxious states and self-talk that's quite negative. So it'll be actually understanding why and how that happens, and how to break through old patterns. So instead of repeating the same story all the time, you know, life's always going to be difficult. You know, we're always going to struggle with money. I'm always going to be this way. I'm always going to, you know, have these escape routes and things that I engage in. We can actually talk about how to break through old patterns, because you are actually the writer of your own story, and you can change your story in your direction at any given time. And I think my story and Kurt's story are both perfect examples of that as well. So, you know, I was in a state of poverty and aloneness and hating myself and the world and ill health and we could go on forever and a day, and I managed to come to a point of such significant frustration with that that I decided to change my direction, and you know, I was sick of that and that story playing over and over. So I made new choices and started to write my story in a way that I actually wanted to live my life. Instead of having life happen to me, I started to make it happen for myself in a way that was serving. So dissolving limiting beliefs as well. Kurt, do you want to touch on any of that, the kind of patterns and limiting beliefs?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all have so many patterns that play out for us all, some very unconscious, some very conscious. You know, when it comes to really truly believing, you know, in yourself and your worthiness is a big one for people. Self-belief, self-love, because people create these patterns that, you know, maybe they're not worthy of that great abundance or that great prosperity, or, you know, to really feel free in life. You know, there's so much that we have going on that we don't quite feel worthy of, and we have to break through. It's becoming, you know, as soon as we can shed awareness upon these things, we can make change. It's only when it dwells in the shadows, when it dwells in a space of unconscious mind, that it just continues to play out. Sometimes we're afraid to look at it, and sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge to look at it. But once we become consciously aware, we can make change. So yeah, there's so much in identifying limiting beliefs. What's stopping you from absolutely connecting in with a great and grand abundance of life right now? Yourself. That's the answer.
And that's not the answer we like to hear. For me, I really enjoyed blaming absolutely everything and everyone else and not looking at any of my own behaviors and the role that I was playing in my own story. It was, you're all assholes, circumstances an asshole, etc. But when I made a decision to take personal responsibility for my life, and work with people like Kurt and with the essential oils and with other mentors and powerful people in my life, and with a lot of the tools that we're going to be sharing with you on this course, it was really life-changing and revolutionizing for my life and the way that things started playing out for me, because it is up to me to create what I want to create. Of course, circumstances and different things happen that can be outside of our control, but in the same sentence, what is our response, and how do we pick ourselves up from that space, and which direction do we decide to go in? Because for me, I'm actually grateful for all of the negative things in my life, the health and the different periods in my life, because one of my favorite authors, J.K. Rowling, you know, she talks about launching from that space of rock bottom, and I wouldn't have got to such a desperate state and just been so willing to seek other ideas and options if I hadn't had such terrible kind of experiences and challenges in my life. So there's a different way of looking at things always. So some of the other things we're going to be touching on are practicing non-attachment, and also being able to, I guess, connect and communicate in more effective ways. So the way we speak to ourselves is really important, and we'll be looking at, affirmations and self-love and ways to treat ourselves that are much more positive and really support us. But also, how do we engage and respond and react to others and to situations and to things that arise, so conflict and that kind of thing. Which is obviously crucial in day-to-day life, in family interactions, but also really crucial if you're a business owner. And I'm sure a lot of you are doTERRA wellness advocates that are watching and listening to this, or have your own business, or whatever kind of work you do. Everyone needs to be able to engage with people in an effective manner that serves the situation, and that means that you can come to joint resolutions about things. So we'll be touching on that, and also kind of identifying the cause of suffering. So you want to touch on that, Kurt, identifying the cause of suffering?
Love to. A huge part of my teachings is very much that, is coming into identifying that cause of suffering. And a lot of the cause of suffering is disconnection. Our feeling of being disconnected from others, from love itself, from self-belief. There's so much that creates suffering. And our suffering, again, as Jessie just touched on that point before, the practice of non-attachment. Our suffering comes through our attachments. And there's many other forms of suffering, of course, but there's so much we can undo in our own doings of attachment that create great suffering. So example, the process of holding such high expectations on everything in the first place. When something doesn't happen the way we want it to, exactly the way we want it to, what do? We become quite distraught and we suffer. When we hold these tremendous expectations on how everyone else should be, even ourselves. Let's just far better. Let's come back to ourselves. The expectations you feel are cast upon you. You are a mother, you are a father, you are whatever role you have right now in your life. People you feel are judging you if you're not doing that to the standard that is expected. So we create suffering through attachment to old beliefs that no longer serve. So we're trying to conform to a system, to a premeditated way of to feel happiness or to be a great mother. You're expected to be able to do this, and this, and there's so many super moms out there, and they feel anytime they let themselves down, they create great suffering. There's so much coming into a deeper space of awareness of where is your suffering come from, where is your attachments to expectations, and we'll continue on many other attachments as well. But there's so much growth to be had when you can identify what are the things causing great suffering in your life. Do you believe in yourself, or do every time you come to a new opportunity you doubt yourself and you say, oh no, that's not for me. I'm not that good, or I don't know how to talk on that, or I don't know how to help others in whatever way. Of course you do. Everyone knows how to help one another. We're here to assist, to be of service. When we come from our heart space, it becomes so easy. So when we can love ourselves just as we are, we can reflect that same love to everyone else. So there's so much that we can go into great depth with that as well, and apply some amazing practices that I myself use and have discovered through my own journey of identifying my cause of suffering and freeing myself, liberating myself with love. This is where it all comes from. So yeah.
And the beautiful thing about when you do really come into a place of self-love and believing in yourself and going out there and doing the things that you want to do and not holding yourself back, is that you give others permission to do the same, and you shine a light and shine a way for others to believe in themselves and love themselves and go out and follow their passions and their dreams, because they see you doing it, and then realize that that's a possibility for them as well. And I think that's another thing that my journey has brought to people as well. But it's not just about me and my journey, and you know, having all of these reasons or excuses why I, you know, couldn't or wouldn't be successful, and just making them reasons as to actually why I should go out and just get it done and do it. And so many people look at that journey and say, wow, if Jessie was able to make this happen and do this and overcome so many obstacles and things that could have held her back, but she didn't let them, that's possible for me too. So that's another beautiful thing about engaging in this course, is that you will come out of it with an ability, or an increased ability. I'm sure lots of you already have this within, but there's also more that we can always be adding to our journey and our tools and knowledge and wisdom to create that on an even greater scale for people. So it's a really beautiful gift to give others. So some of the other things we'll be looking at are balancing thoughts and emotions, unlocking deep compassion, which is a crucial tool to have, especially in working and engaging with yourself and again others as well. So if you can have compassion for yourself, then you can have that compassion for other people, and that starts to make it a lot easier when you're engaging and having experiences with others that might be challenging. If you can have compassion for that person and what they might be going through that you may not even know about, it becomes a lot easier to relate to that. So again, loving the skin you're in, unconditional love and freedom, embracing your authentic self, are all topics we'll be touching on. And for following webinars, just so you know, we will have PowerPoints and information and like specific things to put into practice and tools to take away and implement these. For me, I'm not a great audio-visual learner, so if you're listening to this webinar and being like, that's great, but I just don't know how I'm going to put that into practice, there will be very structured content, tools to take away, things to implement. We won't just be kind of talking at you and expecting you to kind of understand and integrate that yourself. It will be laid out with some foundations and principles to put in place, and written material with the PowerPoints that you'll be able to download, so you can kind of go back and look at what was touched on and know where to go from there. And we'll also be looking at truth and illusion, surrendering to change, and expanding consciousness. Do you want to touch on those topics?
So excited. All of this really excites me. As Jessie and I sat down and discussed what we would love to share and what we feel has been a big impact on our lives and the way we see ourselves. We came up with these core things that we can expand on as well. So there's so many there as well. Love the skin you're in. I'd love to just go back to that one. There's so many of us that really struggle with our own reflection, and this journey of self-discovery, of deeper self-awareness, and of deeper self-love allows us to really come into a space of loving our reflection. Love who you are just as you are. There's so many of us that get caught up in this space of, I have to be here on our journey, or I have to have all of these things, or I have to look a certain way, and I love myself. Do you know what that is? Conditional love, yeah? So we only love ourselves or our reflection sometimes, and then sometimes not so much. And we also do the same with others. We love you when you're well-behaved and you're doing what I like, but when you start to annoy me or you trigger me in some way, no, I'm going to take that love back. Thank you very much. Conditional love, yeah? So as we unlock deeper into this, we can go into unconditional love. This is where we apply deep compassion, because we're rising in our level of awareness and consciousness. So we're lifting ourselves above into new realms, into new spaces of seeing things, able to accept everyone as they are right now, not having the feeling or coming to a space of, I'm going to judge you right now for what you're doing, what you look like, maybe you're expressing yourself freely, but that makes me uncomfortable. So I'm going to go in. I can't share love with you at the moment because I don't understand it. So I will love you conditionally, and I will pull that back myself, because maybe you're showing me something. Maybe this person is reflecting an experience that is quite confronting for you, and you don't want to be there. You don't want to be dealing with that. because it brings up something inside that you suppressed a very long time ago. So all of this flows. This is why we present it as a journey. Each thing unlocks the next thing, unlocks the next thing, unlocks the next thing, until we're left with a grand awareness. And the last dot point we have there is expansion of consciousness. And expansion of consciousness embodies everything. It is the one that brings all into a whole space, a complete space. So we're then anchoring. In our last program, we will be bringing it home. So we're anchoring everything that we've learned over the journey, integrating it all and really grounding it in, so we can use it in our practical day-to-day lives. We can practice in the way we're thinking about things, we believe ourselves to be, we understand our emotions in a greater degree, and how to balance them. So how to come back into a balanced space of emotional and mental states, which is very, very free. Instead of being triggered by anyone or anything, something does this, makes us angry. And then we're in what sort of a space? An agitated space. Maybe we can't work at our best ability. We can't concentrate because so-and-so or somebody on the street or something going on, a conversation had, made me feel frustrated or angry. Now I'm carrying with that throughout my day, maybe even days to come. I'm here to teach you how to balance those emotions and those mental states and quickly remove yourself from carrying those sorts of energies, using a practical sense of what do I do when I'm confronted with these emotions? How do I allow them to flow instead of suppressing them, swallowing them down and letting them literally eat me inside out and affect my whole state of being, with my family, with my friends, with my beloved, with my everything. You can't be in your highest space of expression if you aren't in the most balanced space you can be. So this is a great and an amazing journey that I'm so excited to be a part of and have you join us on if you are feeling a resonance to that, because there's so much to unlock and really high possibilities. Again, I work in a very fluent way. That's why Jessie and I balance each other. As well, I literally talk for the moment. I live for the moment. We have a lot, so we can place in slight structure for you, but we will be weaving and winding through that space so we can really bring you something that is free-flowing and expresses a high energy of love. So, yeah.
And it's not about feeling like that you have to be perfect and not have and feel emotions. It's not about saying, oh, that person's done that, oh, I don't feel angry, I'm zen, I feel nothing. It's definitely not about that. It's just about like what to actually do with those emotions and how to process them so that they don't, as Kurt said, eat you up and affect lots of different areas of your life. So it doesn't mean you won't experience situations and things that can and do trigger you, but it's learning how to come back from that a lot more quickly, and then express and release and deal with those in a healthy way, not just kind of pretending that nothing affects you and you're the Zen master. I don't believe in that crap. It really annoys the shit out of me, actually. So, so I'm just going to make that clear, just so you're aware. So also Kurt has created, or it has and is creating, a really beautiful guided meditation and sound journey specifically for this course as well, to support the purpose of unlocking your higher wisdom and bringing you home to the heart space. So that's going to be a really, really beautiful downloadable inclusion in the course as well. And really, we would both be honoured to have you join us on the Liberation of Love journey. So we're very excited to be sharing some amazing and truly powerful tools that have really transformed our own lives and that have given us ways of supporting the way that we live and the way that we engage with ourselves and the world. So anything else that you would like to share about that?
No, I'm really good. I'm
cool.
Just feeling so blessed to have you join us today, and absolutely look forward to a grand adventure to be had. And
also, if you're feeling resistance to this, like, I just want to share, when I met Kurt, I thought he was like an acid tripping lunatic, and I did not understand the space that he was coming from at all, and I didn't understand most of the things he was talking about. So if you listen to this and you're kind of feeling a massive resistance to what we are creating and bringing forward in the course, maybe consider pushing through that resistance and joining us anyway, because I found the things that I've resisted the most are often the things that I need most in my life. And while it can be challenging and totally new and different and kind of experience outside of anything you may have experienced so far in your life, where you might have experienced a little or maybe you've experienced a lot, there's always more that you can expand on that journey and learn from others, even if it's challenging to you. So the course is $111, which again comes in with number sequencing, which Kurt and I both love. We see 1111, 111, lots of numbers all the time. So we priced it at that so that it would be really affordable and accessible for everyone. It's $111 to see Kurt for one session in person at Capalaba, which I highly recommend doing if you're in the Brisbane Capalaba area, going and seeing him. But it's also $111 for 5 weeks worth of content, for the downloadable sound and journey meditation, for the PowerPoint presentations and the replays, and all of the tools and easy to implement accessible things that we're going to put together in this course. So it's an extremely cost-effective way to gain some insight and wisdom and new things to allow you to journey in 2017. If you look at like coaching or other courses or retreats and lots of things, the expense can be quite massive, which I'm now able to invest in those things more and more as my abundance grows. But we want everyone to have access to tools and things that they can increase their journey with as well. So $111. We have put the Facebook event up on my Get a Fresh Start business page, so you can join that. We will email out to everyone that registered a link with the replay of this webinar, and also a link to register and book a spot for the e-course if you are wanting to journey this with us as well. And I think that's everything that we need to touch on. Yeah. So really honour you for taking the time to be here and listen today, or if you're watching this replay, thank you so much for watching. If you do have questions about the course, or you want to reach out and contact either myself and Kurt, feel free to do that. Kurt's Facebook page is Kurt the Meditation Mechanic, if you're wanting to follow him on social media as well. And you can access him through that as well. He's also got a website. What's your new website?
themeditationmechanic.com.au.
meditationmechanic.com.au. Obviously mine's getafreshstart.com.au. So reach out, and thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see lots of you on the course. Can't wait to get started. It runs from, I don't know if I covered that, 1st of February through to 1st of March for 5 weeks, Wednesday night webinars, but you'll get access to the replays. So see you on there. Thanks, guys.